Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, Northside Talks, episode 12. Bit of a special one right now. We got the boy, Jelani Goodrich. What's
Yes.
going on, brother? How you been?
Yo, it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute. I know the last time, we had a great talk about Kendrick, Drake, me, and Emmanuel. It got a bit heated, but there's no beef, guys. We good. I just been a bit busy, life, but I'm glad to be back. I know I missed a chunk of the NFL playoffs. I know I missed a chunk of Champions League so far. What else is going on? NBA.
NBA All-Stars coming around.
Yeah. So LaMelo, yo, don't bother me right now. But yeah,
Crazy. Absolutely abysmal. Maybe we can get into that for a little bit afterwards. But obviously the football specialist is back. So that means the football talks are going to be back. Now, obviously, we're essentially on the eve of the Super Bowl next weekend. Super Bowl 50. What is it? What are we at? 59? Is what it is? 59.
Yeah, 59.
Super Bowl 59. Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles. Round 2, essentially. We've seen it a few years ago in 50. Yeah. It would be 57. 57?
Yeah, 57.
Super Bowl 57. What are your thoughts on the game? How you think it's gonna go? I know you're a big Mahomes fan. I know you're pushing that agenda quite a lot. A little too much for my liking, to be honest with you. But I digress. Can we expect another shootout like last time? Last time it was a very high scoring game.
Yeah, I think last time was 38-35.
Yeah.
That was one of the best. I think that was a top 10 Super Bowl in my opinion. This time around, I think it's gonna be really close again because obviously the Eagles are good. Look, y'all know I hate the Eagles with a passion, but I could be normal in saying like, yo, they're good. Like I could be impartial. So I think they're gonna make it really tough. The Chiefs only lost 2 games this year. The second game they lost, they weren't really playing for anything anyway because it was week 18, so they're already good to go. So technically, with the whole crew, they've only lost once this year to Buffalo. But a team like the Eagles could beat the Chiefs just because top to bottom, I would say they are a better roster. I also said this 2 years ago too. They had the better roster 2 years ago. I think this time around, the thing we should watch for obviously Saquon Barkley. Yeah. Saquon is amazing. He's my favorite college running. Like when he was in Penn State, he was my favorite college running back ever. So I've been riding with him. I know he's on my ops, but it's still my guy. Then you got the defense. The defense for the Eagles, number 1 defense in the league. They're really good against the run. They're great against the pass. So that's gonna be the challenge, right? You look at their group. I think they only have like 3 guys that were a part of the last Super Bowl against KC. The whole defense is revamped, so that's gonna be something to watch. How is Andy Reid going to game plan? I trust Andy Reid because off of a bye, I swear he's like I don't know the exact record. He's like 33-7. Yeah, so that tells you he's good at this. He's good at game planning. He's good at getting guys ready. So I think it's gonna be a good game. I won't say it was gonna be as high as 38-35 as last time. I'm gonna say right now I got it 27-24 KC. No bias. I just believe in the championship pedigree. I believe in Patrick Mahomes, obviously, but I also think at the end of the day it's coaching. I just give a lot of edge to KC. They have a better coaching staff, and they have one of the best coordinators of all time, Steve Spagnuolo, who is the mastermind around some of the greatest defensive schemes we've seen. So how is he going to stop Saquon?
Yeah. Nah, that's true, bro. I was saying that I've been obviously, I've been trying to get on my TikTok grind, whatever. So I got one coming out top Super Bowl.
Yo, game time takes. Check that out, bro.
An ABC fan, meaning anybody but the Chiefs. Okay, so I'm shameless with it. Fly Eagles fly for all I care. Check it out.
Quit playing with me, bro.
But I talked about Andy Reid, bro, because I feel like as much as people obviously acknowledge the head coaches or just the coaching staffs of great teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, I feel like it's very easy to kind of almost forget about Andy Reid because it's all Mahomes, and everything like that. But brother, people don't understand. Andy Reid is a real Hall of Fame coach. Like that is when you watch that game against the Bills, the thing that stood out to me for the Bills is the first drive. I remember texting in the group chat too. That first drive told me everything I needed to know because it was the easiest drive I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
And it wasn't because they were making Mahomes do anything crazy. It was just a bunch of
Yeah.
RPOs. Let him get his rhythm. You know what I mean? Let him kind of build up his confidence in the game. First drive, couple quick easy slants to I don't remember. I think it was Hollywood Brown caught a few of them. I think Juju broke off a little nice run.
Yeah.
Um, just little things like that where you just make life easier for your already great quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Or just great players in general. You know. Um,
Yeah.
Now, as we said before, I know you push the Patrick Mahomes agenda, and it's a very good agenda
Yep.
to push right now. It's hard. It's hard. It's getting hard for me. Like not that I'm a Mahomes hater. I love Patrick Mahomes. I can't lie to you. I look for reasons at times to not like him, and I just can't. I just can't.
That's jokes.
He's just a
Yeah,
good.
bro.
He's a good guy. You know what I mean? Like he
Yes,
has
man.
every reason
Oh my.
to get into the media with an ego and with a certain cockiness and attitude.
Nice.
He doesn't.
Chill.
He's just chilling. He
Chill.
just understands the game. He knows where he stands, obviously, when it comes to the quarterbacks of today. And that leads into the next question is, do you think we can see someone overthrow him? Even if it's for like a season or two, do you think we can see somebody that can put a stop to this reign? Because it looked like the whole season, all eyes were on Lamar Jackson, all eyes were on Josh Allen as,
Yep.
this is the year y'all got one of you two. Just do something.
Yeah.
Obviously, that didn't pan out. But what do you think? Do you think one of them is this somebody else that can overthrow them, or what? Because I'm not seeing it.
It's tough. It's tough because like I'm thinking like Brady, for example, during his reign, there were like honestly Peyton Manning was right with him, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of it was like half and half. It's either you thought Brady was the best or Manning was the best. And then some years in there, you got the Steelers winning or something like that. So, but in this current time, there is no one. There is no one on his level. And I look at maybe Lamar because he's probably going to get a third MVP pretty soon. You look at the fact that his numbers are great as well. And with those MVPs, it's been unanimous before, all that sort of thing, right? But same way you look at Allen. Allen's a good player. But the thing with him is, even though he's great, the trophy case, there's nothing in there. Like, let's say he doesn't get the MVP in next week. There's nothing in there.
It's looking empty.
Okay,
Tottenham
it's looking empty.
Hotspurs.
Facts. Okay, empty trophy case. Yeah, what, a Pro Bowl here and there? Okay, who cares? So, and even the All Pro team, like it's hard to make All Pro. So there's nothing there either. And then I can't dismiss Joe Burrow. I like Burrow a lot. It's just his team, just wasn't good on the defensive side of the ball, so they couldn't even make the playoffs. So obviously those are your three contenders. There's no one else. Everyone knows there's a unanimous big four
Yeah.
of the sport right now. But I just think Mahomes, even without bias, Mahomes, from what I've seen, with my two eyes, he is on a level by himself.
Yeah.
Then I would put those three on the second level.
Yeah.
They're all together, but I'm just saying there's levels to it.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But on your point is like there might be some years where a guy plays better than Pat. This year, for example,
Of course.
Allen has played better than Pat. Lamar has played better than Pat. There's no Ed Burrow has played. Look at the numbers.
Yeah.
He's played better than Pat. But it could also be a factor of, okay, we won back to back, which is rare to begin with. We know what to do during the regular season. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're not really doing much. We're not trying to show everybody who we really are until the postseason. So they might have taken some foot off that gas during the regular season. That's why we probably didn't see the Mahomes. And it's not the same Mahomes from a couple years ago because things have changed. They don't have Tyreek anymore, obviously. So the offense, the whole scheme has changed. So that's why stylistically, people are like, oh, nah, Mahomes ain't that guy. No, because Brady did the same thing. Randy Moss was with Brady 07. That's the first full season football I remember, 2007.
7 years old.
I remember it.
Young
yes,
buck.
I remember it. Yes. First Super Bowl I remember was the year before. Peyton Manning, shout out. But he had a style where it was like just air attack. But then years down the line, it was dink and dunk, with Edelman and those guys,
Wes
So
Welker, all those
stylistically,
guys.
yeah. So it looked different, but still, you knew the truth. You know the truth with Pat Mahomes. You look at the fact that his start, like the start of his career, I like NFL. It's hard to win, bro. It's
Yeah.
not easy to win in the NFL, but he makes it look easy. He's been to the conference championship game
Mhm.
almost like all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, all the time, all
Every
the
single
time.
year.
I was, like hello, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And now you think of it, if he gets it done, that's 4 rings. He would have lapped those other guys we were talking about 4 times.
4 in 5 years too. Like that's ridiculous. 5 years get into the Super Bowl, you win four of them. It puts
Stop
you
it.
on an
So
insane
yeah,
path, bro. Insane trajectory.
like he's chilling. So yeah, I think Mahomes is on a level by himself because when we talk about him, we talk about Brady.
Yeah.
That
That's the
that should tell
biggest
you all
thing
you
you
need
need
to
to
know.
know. Yeah.
we There's a different level to this. With the other three, they're battling each other. They're battling each other for who's the second guy in this era. If the first guy is battling the greats of the greats, we're talking about him with Brady every day. We talk about, oh, has he already passed Joe Montana? Respectfully, I think he has. I didn't think that. Then after he won last year, I said, you know what? I know he has one less ring. He passed him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, come on, man.
You know. So
Come on, man.
one thing, and I had this conversation. It was like a while ago with my pops. I don't even remember what the conclusion we ended up coming to. But obviously, like you said, you talk about Patrick Mahomes, you talk about Tom Brady, because those are the two guys for their generation where it's like, okay, you're in a league of your own when it comes to the accolades, the overall dominance of your era, right? Obviously, Mahomes' era isn't done yet. He's not even halfway done his book, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
We talk about Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Last year we were talking about C.J. Stroud a lot. This year it's Jaden Daniels. Justin Herbert's kind of in the mix there, somewhere over there. There's a lot of good quarterbacks today. A lot of good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Do you think this generation is harder to be the top of the top like Mahomes is than what Brady was going through? Because when Brady was playing, I'm not saying there was no great quarterbacks, but yeah, you had Peyton Manning, you had your Drew Brees back then at the time. Matt
Like Aaron
Stafford was
Rodgers,
kind of coming in and around.
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, I can't believe I didn't say that earlier. But just the volume of quarterbacks today, it just seems like there's a lot more weapons. Am I wrong in saying that, or do you feel differently? I don't know.
It's so tough because like I see so many like comparisons of the eras. Cause yeah, that first era, like that 2000s era, had those guys you mentioned, and then even like Roethlisberger was good.
Oh
He's a Hall
shoot,
of
yeah,
Famer,
yeah,
and then Philip Rivers, like he was good. He couldn't win. Like the Chargers couldn't win anything, but he was always good. He was putting up big numbers.
yeah,
So and he's arguably a Hall of Famer. I know people say Eli. He
yeah.
beat Tom. He beat Tom twice. He is going to the Hall of Fame. I know
Oh yeah.
people
Off
argue
that
that,
alone.
but he's
Off
going
that
to Hall.
alone.
Yeah. And then yeah, shout out my guy Drew Brees. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. And then even like before Brady really became like you got Michael Vick. I have to give him a shout out because he's the reason why I like football, like to begin with. So you got those guys. And then now, yeah, like you said, like the big four, obviously. I would just say for now, because there hasn't been anyone to be able to knock Mahomes off yet, I still have to give edge to that previous era.
Right.
Because they were still putting up big numbers and battling each other for MVPs and all pro spots all the time, those guys. You look at Aaron Rodgers, he has like 4 MVPs, for example. The Peyton 5, we're gonna say that's the most. So you have those. The ring count was spread out before Brady just said, "Yo, let me take that." It was spread out a little bit. So for now, I would say that era clears, but it's also because we haven't seen the full of this
Right.
one.
We're like
So I
halfway
want to
done, not
see.
even.
Yeah, I still want to see what Allen could do. Can Buffalo get over that hump?
Yeah.
I think it will happen down the line, but not yet. Not yet, guys. Okay.
Who do you
Stay patient.
who do you
Lamar
think is
too.
gonna take that over first, Lamar or Josh Allen? Be the first one to get over the hump because I know it's been a huge question for Lamar
Yeah.
the last few years.
I honestly I said that Joe Burrow was gonna be the first one.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean,
I
he
said
did
Joe
make the
Burrow.
Super Bowl, so I feel like that was a
Yeah,
good take
I
at the
think
time. I feel like,
yeah.
you know.
So I felt like he was gonna make it back. I just don't like again the Bengals as a franchise overall. They
Not
are
serious.
known to be cheap. They are a
Yeah.
very cheap franchise. So I don't know if they're gonna surround him with the parts moving forward that he needs.
Hmm.
So in that case, I would say either Joe or Lamar. I think it's gonna be one of those guys.
I
I'm
think.
not hating. Everyone thinks I hate on Josh Allen. I don't hate on Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I just try to spit facts right now. Okay, I
I
think
think.
Lamar probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lamar, and I think the biggest reason for that is because you look at what they just did. They just brought in Derrick Henry, where it's like, okay, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're showing the capability of I'm gonna take some pressure off of my quarterback, and we're just gonna try to bring in because mind you, it's just on Instagram. It's just people, I guess, hypothesizing about next season, yada yada yada. I'm seeing people saying how, oh, well, Tyreek Hill wants out of Miami. Baltimore could be in this, but I'm
Yeah.
seeing, oh, this wouldn't happen. I'm not saying either of these are gonna happen. I'm just saying this is what I've seen. I've
Yeah.
seen someone else saying, "Oh, well, Sauce Gardner might not want to be there no more in New York. Come to Baltimore." And I'm like, "All right, brother. Now we're pushing the agenda a little bit." But I understand the whole premise, where especially where it hurts Joe Burrow because it's like you're messing around with Jamar Chase, you're messing around with T Higgins. Those are the two. Can
Yeah, they're
we
nice.
can we get
They're
a
nice.
can we get a contract? Can we get a long term contract where
I
Joe
know. I
Burrow
know.
has his guys consistently? Because that's the one thing I worry about with Joe Burrow is like, brother. First of all, let's just get this out the way. The Bengals before Joe Burrow, you know what I mean? They're not serious. Not really that
Not
relevant.
serious.
You
No.
had those few years with Chad Ochocinco in the past. You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I
my
mean? Where
guy.
it's-
That's my favorite
it-
wide receiver.
that's what
That's
I'm
my
saying.
favorite
So
receiver
y'all had
ever.
your years of relevancy and being whatever, but it's never been to where it is now with Joe Burrow and making the Super Bowl a few years back and consistently being one of the better teams in the AFC. But now, like you were saying, being a historically cheap team, brother, it's not now's not the time to be cheap. Now's the time to kind of push all your
I
chips in the
know.
table where it's like, okay, we got somebody. Let's put
Yeah.
all our resources into helping them out. So that's why I worry about Joe Burrow. But in terms of the first guy to get over the hump, I have to put it on Lamar specific. Not even just because I think Lamar, which I guess it kind of changes every year because those guys are all so good and all at the same level, kind of. Just the team, like the organization, is just showing more
Yeah,
willingness to surround
facts.
them with good pieces and everything like that. But yeah, I guess, bro, we'll bring it back to the original conversation. This is the big question that I think everybody wants to know. Next weekend rolls around. I think the Super Bowl is February 16th. I think is what I saw. Let's say the Chiefs go and win. What was the prediction you gave? 27-24 for the Kansas City
Yeah.
Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes lifting
Yeah.
up the trophy. What does that do for the GOAT talks? Is he the GOAT already in your eyes? No. There's no way.
Right now?
Yeah, if he wins this next week, there's no way.
So
No, brother, it's just don't tell me so. There's no way.
so Tom Brady's go.
Okay.
Tom Brady, I'm not gonna forget what I just saw. Okay. Tom
Yeah.
didn't retire that long ago.
Yeah.
Right? He's undoubtedly the GOAT. And he beat Mahomes twice. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the big
He
one.
beat Mahomes twice. The first one, AFC Championship, 2018, one of the greatest games ever, in my opinion. I know that Mahomes didn't get the ball back. Overtime rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mahomes played great. That was his first year starting.
Yeah.
So imagine like technically a rookie, not really, but going toe to toe with the GOAT. And then the Super Bowl in 2020. I mean, that one, the Bucks had a crazy roster.
They did.
The Chiefs did too, but the problem was the Chiefs' O-line was beat up. Like they just
Yeah,
if
that
you don't
was-
have an offensive line, you're
I
not
remember
going.
seeing a stat when that game was going on. The amount of scramble yards Mahomes had was like better than
bad.
certain running backs, bro. Like it was running back numbers at quarterback. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was bad. So Tom's the GOAT. So now I'm like, okay, if Mahomes gets this done,
What does that do for you?
I would want to say that Mahomes the GOAT.
Oh,
Because this is something we haven't seen, guys.
yeah.
Like a three-peat, I would never think that a three-peat would have happened in NFL history. Never. It's just not like that. I can't compute that in my brain that would happen. And the thing is, teams that have gone back to back, it's happened before. They've tried. They haven't even made it back to the Super Bowl. They've lost in the third round or something like that, or second round. So he's already done something that hasn't been done. I know Brady tried to get that perfect season in 07. Couldn't get that done.
Shout out to Eli Manning.
So let's
bro.
say, Yeah. Let's say he would have had like 9 rings without Eli.
Yeah.
Damn. But yeah, so Mahomes would have had this feather in his cap say, "Yo, I did something that you couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
That was historic."
Mm-hmm.
So I think you wouldn't forget about losing to Brady those times, but it would just be something that he could hold on to that Brady couldn't.
Yeah.
Because Brady he did make 3 in a row, but they lost that one in the middle to Philly,
Mm.
to boot. But I just it's tough, bro. It's like I want to say Mahomes would be the GOAT in that case, but I can't disrespect Tom Brady. Like I know what I watched, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it would be a case of the greatest winner of
Okay.
the sport is Tom.
Mm.
And then but honestly with my 2 eyes right now, like even right now, I know Mahomes is the best quarterback I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But cuz
Just eye test.
he's a mix. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like he's a mix of Rodgers. He gives me Brett Favre and he gives me John Elway in one
Mm-hmm.
with the mindset of Tom. Like, are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah. It's
So that's why I push the agenda.
it's a strong agenda to push, and I'm not saying you're wrong in pushing it either. Cause I would say, and I'll admit first and foremost, I think I am biased. So I've said this already. I think the Chiefs are gonna win. Okay, the only team heading into the playoffs in general, as much it was kind of one of those things where it's like I wanted Lamar or Josh Allen to throw them off, but I can't say that and believe it until I see something happen like that close, like something close to happen to that where those guys are able to consistently beat him in the regular season. Maybe I know Josh Allen's beat him a few times in the regular season, but it's not enough for me to convincingly believe that they can knock him off on the AFC side. But heading into the Super Bowl, I had said the only team that I could see beating the Chiefs, and it's just because they've been kind of that X factor the whole season, was the Lions. And they let me down like crazy. That's why I'm not a betting man. Okay? I'm not a betting man. I would have lost so much money. would have lost so
Lions,
much money.
bro, come on. That was so disappointing, man. Like, honestly, because that was my pick.
Yeah.
I think it was a popular pick, like preseason. But yeah, like in like August, everyone knew like it was gonna be Chiefs Lions.
Yeah.
I did put money down though on Chiefs Eagles
Oh, shoot.
because I said if the Lions mess this up,
Yeah.
and it's probably gonna be the Eagles in there. So I put something light on. If I win, they give me a band if the Chiefs win. So yo, Pat, come through, bro. Come through. You know what? If he wins, pass the GOAT because he get me a band.
Tom Brady's never lied in my pockets like that before.
Yeah, it's fast.
But,
So yo, come on, man. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah, because for me it was like I will admit I am biased, and it's because of I've seen Tom Brady's whole story. Well, whole story. It's the same with you. 07-ish is probably around the first time I was really paying attention to football and understanding what was going on, yada, yada, yada. But then from then onwards, I've been tapped in, you know what I mean, with the story and everything like that. And while I'm not yet willing to admit that Mahomes would be the GOAT if he three-peats, it kind of puts you in a situation where it's like, it's almost inevitable at that point. You know what I mean? Because I can't fathom him just falling off of a cliff next year where it's just
like getting worse.
Yeah, you can't. It doesn't.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't
The only
compute in my
thing
head.
I would say with Mahomes, like with that, is like Brady, because Brady had that stretch. Like he won 3, but then 10 years with nothing. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't. That's crazy to think about because he still ended up with 7. Like
Yeah,
that's why he's the like what?
it's just
But
sustained longevity. Like,
it's like like imagine Mahomes gets it done, but then 10 years that'd be wild. So it would take a crazy drop off.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I think the only other thing with that too is like, so the 10 years is crazy already to be that good for that long, to where it's like, yeah, you can go win your 3, miss a whole bunch of time, and still be good enough to not only make the Super Bowl but win the Super Bowl 4 times afterwards. But I think where it gets a little bit different, a little skewed, is obviously we know Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes stylistically is like polar opposites practically. You know what I mean? Tom Brady is your perfect pocket passer where you're not asking him to do too much. He's not necessarily physically exerting himself as much as a Mahomes would do from a week in, week out basis. So that's where I wonder, I don't even know if Mahomes can do that. Can you run around like that for 10 years, week in, week out? Because we've seen time, and it's not like it's what's freaky is it doesn't seem to affect him right now because he's younger, obviously. But like,
Yeah.
there's times where like we saw in the Super Bowl against Tampa, where your offensive line is depleted. It's just second strings, third strings, guys you picked up off the street. Sal from down the road is your center. You know what I mean?
Shout out Sal.
Shout out to Sal, but damn, brother, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just don't know if if Mahomes would have that same clock on his career, that same longevity, just because of the way he plays, being that kind. He is a mobile quarterback. He's not the mobile quarterback in the sense of where you look at Lamar and Josh Allen, and because those guys are kind of in their own.
Or like Hurts, like
yeah, you know what I mean? Something like that where you're just a lot more active. So I wonder if he'll be able to have that same amount of time. That being said, because of the three-peat, I'm just assuming that, you know, they get the job done next week against the Eagles. I don't think he needs 7 to be considered the GOAT. Or 8, whatever it is. Like, if he caps at 6 and it's, you know what I mean? Depending,
at that point.
That's what I mean. Like, it's kind of, I think you'll hear more arguments for both sides, but I don't think you'd be wrong in saying Mahomes is still the GOAT. He doesn't have to have what Brady, he doesn't have to accomplish what Brady accomplished. You know what I mean? Because he'll have this on his resume where it's like, well, shoot, I three-peated. Brady didn't do that.
And the start, the start of his career is better than Brady's start. And I know Brady won 3 rings before he lost the playoff game.
Oh,
okay, Tom Brady.
I actually didn't even know that.
That is crazy. But I just look at, it's not only the winning. I think the numbers, the style, and also what he was, like, the situation. Because Tom's first 3 rings, if we want to be real, it was more due to Bill Belichick's defenses. Okay, the early 2000s Patriots had great defenses. Tom was more of a game manager back then. Okay, so all he had to do was just don't make a mistake, bro. Like, literally, do your job, whatever. Whereas Mahomes is the engine. For the majority of the winning here. For the one last year, I would say that was more defense because the Chiefs had the best defense last year, so that was more engineered by that group. But you look at the first one, you look at the second second appearance, you know, the second one that he won, like, that was more Mahomes engineered. So, and then on your point about the ring count, it's so funny because Brady and Jordan thing, Mahomes, LeBron thing. It's like, because then if I say homie's the GOAT, I'm be called a hypocrite because I'm a Jordan guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, But the only thing with the NBA one, I said let LeBron retire. Then I'll come back with my full answer.
Because there's sometimes consistent where I'm like, with that too, like since high school.
Yeah, like I just want to see the full picture. But the difference is, like, Mahomie would have, I want to see if he could do this because it's historic. You know what I'm saying? And look, I know we're talking about it, but I'm gonna be real. Like, it's not gonna be easy, right? I think if they lost, let's say they lost, which would suck because I hate Philly, but if they lost, then I don't think people should knock Pat because he still would have gone to 5 Super Bowls in 7 years of starting. Okay. All of these under the age of 30. No other quarterback has been to 5 Super Bowls under the age of 30. Okay? Then, you still have the 3 rings. He still would have gone back-to-back. First team to do that since Brady's Patriots 04.
Right.
Okay? So he still has that. He would be fine. He would be a main man. He's a main man anyway.
Yeah. And
he's got multiple MVPs. So I think if they lost, don't take anything away from Patrick Mahomes. Don't be, and I swear, bro, this is the one problem. So, you know, every sport, there's discourse. Yeah. And there's always bad discourse. Right. I don't like talking about Jalen Hurts because his discourse is really weird.
Yeah.
Because one side it's like, yo, the Eagles are stacked, so what does he really have to do? And the other side of it's like, no, he's actually really good. So if he wins this game, depending, let's say he has an average game, because last time he had one of the best performances I ever seen.
Yeah,
and they lost. Like, he was. Let's say he has an average game, but they win. I do not want to hear, oh, he's better than Mahomes.
Yeah, no.
Oh, he's better than Allen. He's better than Burrow. I swear, bro.
And you know what? I'm sorry to say, but that probably will happen. that discourse will have, because I've noticed this as someone that pays attention to multiple sports and the media in multiple sports. NFL media is one of the craziest, like hyperbolic and just so quick to jump the gun in every narrative. I saw a headline. I wasn't even watching the show. It was First Take. My pops had it on upstairs. I was just walking to the kitchen, minding my own business. I just decided, let me have a glance at the TV screen. Let me just see what they're talking about. They had the little running headlines at the bottom of the screen, whatever, discussion. And I'm seeing, did Jaden Daniels overtake Joe Burrow's spot in the Big Four? I stopped dead in my tracks. What? And I'm looking as I'm seeing Stephen A. I'm seeing Shannon Sharp. And I'm not sure who, it might have been RC. It might not have been, I don't know who the third person was. But I'm looking and I'm like, you guys can't seriously be having this conversation.
That's ridiculous.
There's no way. Now I understand. Jaden Daniels had an amazing season, amazing rookie season.
Yeah. That's one I've seen.
But did he overtake Joe Burrow in the Big Four? What are we talking about right now? What are we doing? So, unfortunately, if the Eagles do get this done, I would be more shocked if you don't see that kind of narrative. To be honest with you.
Even if it's like Saquon, even if it's because of Saquon, you're still going to say because it's the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I like Jalen a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, he went to Bama. That's my team. Like, I always will like Jalen Hurts. I know he's on the Eagles, but I don't care. Like, I like him. Yeah. I think he's a good quarterback. But I'm not blind. Like, I know what he's got at his disposal. Mm-hmm. So that obviously is a benefit. And in terms of QB, like, you could argue he's a top 5 quarterback. Yeah. I would dismiss that notion. Mm. I think he's obviously around like 6 through 8 in my opinion. 10 but comfortably. And for sure. But I just, like you said, the discourse with NFL specifically. They're trying to make it more like NBA media, to be honest, where it's like, as soon as someone wins something, anoint. They like to anoint people too early, and it's just ridiculous. Yeah. So, I didn't have this initially to talk about, but it was something that I'd said in the TikTok that I'm about to post, and I was just as a feeler, just to spark discussion. Let's say the Kansas City Chiefs win. Do you see a world, like, obviously, let me preface it by saying this. Kansas City Chiefs win, Super Bowl MVP is going to be Patrick Mahomes. That's just how it goes. You're the quarterback. It's the narrative. It's the script. I understand that. But do you see a world where Chiefs win and the Super Bowl MVP goes to Saquon Barkley? Because I can see, like, just on, maybe not, just off of the best player on the field, like, what's going to get you out your seat the most, what's going to resonate with you the most is, remember this crazy, but remember this, stand the third, whatever. I can really see it being Saquon Barkley. Now, I know I had to look this up, too. Do you know the last guy to win Super Bowl MVP on the losing team? I knew this answer, but now it's, I lost it, to be honest with you.
Brother. Chuck
It's got to be a long time ago. It's got to be a long time ago.
Dallas Cowboys linebacker. 1970, brother. 70s. Super Bowl 5. Super Bowl 5, bro. That was the last time it happened.
That's probably against the Dolphins or something.
Yeah, it was against
that was a long time ago.
The Colts, the Baltimore Colts, I think is what it was.
That was a long time ago, bro.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen, bro. Like,
it doesn't.
Because the other thing is, like, the 2 years ago, could have argued it could have been Jalen Hurts. He was the best guy on the field that day. I remember 2008, Larry Fitzgerald, one of the best of all time. He was the best guy on the field. They lost. The Steelers still cheeses me to this day. But, like, those are situations where there's a guy that has the best performance but doesn't get it. So even if Saquon went for 200 plus, 2 TDs, and they lost, I still would think it would go to somebody on Casey. Just because that factor.
Mahomes. I can't see them giving it to anybody else. Like, it.
Yeah, it would require a great effort, by somebody else on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
To get that, because it's probably going to Pat.
Yeah.
I
just think, just looking at previous, so even if we talk about the Chiefs Super Bowl against Tampa, when Tom Brady won his final ring, whatever. To me, the play that resonated with me the most, and not resonate like it relates to me, but just I remember it vividly. And this goes to the whole Patrick Mahomes, his greatness level, because like this is where it comes to watching it with yourself. I've never feared a quarterback more than Patrick Mahomes in my life. Like it could be 4th and 45, and until he gets sacked or until the ball touches the ground, I'm scared for what is about to, because you know how the angle is in football when they have when they're throwing for over 20, 30 yards, you're just tracking the ball. You don't really see what's downfield yet until the ball gets there.
Yeah.
And it's the horizontal throw. That horizontal, it was like 40, 50 yards to Tyreek. Hits Tyreek Hill in the mask. In the face, man. Brother, help him out. I was afraid. I wanted Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl. But I started to just feel bad for Patrick Mahomes after that point, because it just gets to a point of like I'm in awe of what I'm seeing. I can't even fathom someone who's running around like that because his offensive line is giving him no protection. So he never has a clean pocket. He can't just sit in the pocket, go through his reads. No, it's always a scramble. And I'm still scared over what. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm still scared over where is he actually throwing this ball, because some of them he's hitting on. You know what I mean?
They should have caught it. They should have caught it.
That's what I mean.
That's the ball.
So that is where I think I can be with Saquon Barkley in this upcoming Super Bowl, where the brother's going to jump over someone backwards again or something like that. You know what I mean? Do something ridiculous. Just because he's a highlight reel guy, you know?
And that O-line. That O-line is freaky. Different. They're the best one. So that's my question. Like, the Chiefs, obviously, to win this game, you're gonna have to stop Saquon. It's happened. Like teams this year have even shut him down. So it is possible to do that, but it's gonna require a great game plan, or you're gonna have to get ahead early. So if the Chiefs can score some points, get some touchdowns here and there, then that forces the Eagles to get out of what they wanted to do. They're probably gonna have to put it in Jalen's hands. Jalen's a good quarterback still, and they got weapons, but a battle against KC in the air attack, I'm still taking KC. I know the style is different. I'm still taking them. Yep. We saw what happened against the Bills, right? So, we'll see what happens.
Yep. Heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Football specialist Johnny Goodrich Reed stamping Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl 59 champions. We'll see if it comes true. Just we can get into it as a small little segue to the next portion. Obviously, we're pre-recording this. We just saw the NBA All-Star put out the All-Star teams, everything like that. And we kind of said it before. There were some big snubs, man. Some names left off the list. We had our own discussions in the group chat here and there, whatever. How are you feeling about who's an All-Star, who's not an All-Star? LaMelo Ball, I struggle with that one, personally.
That's crazy,
Domantas Sabonis struggle with that one a little bit as well.
Yeah, crazy, bro. Crazy.
What do you think of the whole shebang?
Bro, first off, NBA All-Stars washed. It's just washed. Yep. I think this product, bro, I love basketball so much. I love it. I love the game. I love the league, the association. But this is not my association.
Not my league.
Okay? No. And you look at LaMelo, look at the numbers that he's had. The fact that 30-point nights, 20-point nights, like 20 and 10. He's up there in the Eastern Conference. Wasn't he number one in fan voting? I thought that played a role. I don't know. And I know he got hurt, but give him the nod at least. Yeah. And then the other one that I'm very upset about is Trae Young. Because he's one of my favorite point guards in the league. And I feel like he's so disrespected. I don't know what it is. But y'all are not watching, I guess, because, again, same thing. The 20 and 10 nights. 30s that he's put up. He's first in assists. Again, like what does he have to do? They did this to him last year. They do this to him repeatedly. So that's why he's like, yo, at this point, it's not snubbed, it's trade. Okay. And that's true. Yeah. Like they do him so dirty. And then you mentioned Sabonis. Crazy.
So
he got done wrong last year too. Like,
here's my thing. And it's purely just I'm trying to make sense of it. Whatever. Obviously, I think we should take a little bit of onus as fans. We did almost vote in Zaza Pachulia, which ruined the whole
Oh,
voting process. Okay, we were just having a little bit of fun. Okay, it was who doesn't have fun sometimes. But
oh
after
man.
that, they decided to switch up the voting: 50% fans, 25% players, 25% media, yada yada yada.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I find it hard to, although fans have majority of that voting, when you do the splits.
Hmm.
If we vote, because you're right, LaMelo Ball was the number one voted guard coming out of the East. I don't. He might have low key been number one out of the West, like in general. I mean, too.
Oh, in
Um,
general, yeah, I can't remember off
but
top.
I can't remember the West, but I know for a fact that LaMelo Ball's the number one fan voted guard coming out of the East. And it's like NBA All Star Weekend. It's an experience for fans. It's an event for fans. So fans are voting. Clearly, we want to see LaMelo Ball. Otherwise, we wouldn't have voted. We wouldn't have put him this high in that fan voting process. And for him to not even get the nod, not even as a reserve, something
Wait,
has to
what?
change because that's not right. Like that's crazy, right? Like, and
Yeah.
it's kind of the same thing with Trey, because he was somewhere in the mix with the guards, but I think Darius Garland got the nod ahead of him, just in terms of fan voting.
Mm.
Like Darius Garland made it despite having less votes. Cade made it despite having less votes. Tyler Hero made it despite having way less votes. He was last in
Mm.
fan voting, and this is where it gets to. This is where I'm just thinking and trying to make sense of it. LaMelo Ball and Trae Young, I think, rub a lot of people the wrong way. A lot of people in the league the wrong way.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're Trae Young and you're bowing to these Knicks fans after you decimate them, you're kneeling down and you're gambling on the Knicks logo. Guess what? I can see how none of the Knicks people are gonna vote for you, brother. You know what I mean? LaMelo
Yeah.
Ball, he just disrespects everybody he plays. He's taking step back, one-legged
Yeah.
three-pointers, just
Yeah.
playing like he's playing at the Y or whatever, at
Nice.
the LA Fitness. I could see why certain guys are voting for you. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that hammers home the whole point of, brother, it's for fans. It's like, you know what I mean? Fan voting
Yeah. It's
shit.
the entertainment, bro.
It's what I'm saying. It's entertainment. And I get it. There is a value to having other players' input because they're on the court and they're seeing it. You know what I mean? That's why on occasion you will get someone that, although might not be the most entertaining guy, they're just so fundamentally sound, or whatever the case is, where the real players know how good they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, but even in saying that, my head is, I'm scratching my head because how does Domantas Sabonis not make it there? Because he's not the most popular guy.
Nah, but
Yeah.
he's good, bro.
He's
Like
great.
the real no.
Yeah.
Like he should have been an all-star. And even like Kyrie, like I keep forgetting, like he's had a pretty good year
Yeah.
too. So you could have argued him. And I know like when you talk about okay, oh, a snub, like who would he replace or
Mhm.
stuff like that. So like even with LaMelo and those guys, I know the guards in the East pretty good years overall across the
Mhm.
board. Shout out Cade, but Tyler,
I can't get on board with it, really.
I
You
don't
know what I
know.
mean?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's no disrespect to those guys either. Obviously, you're an NBA player. You're in the conversation to being an All Star.
Yeah.
Clearly, I feel like if you're in the conversation to being an All Star, you can be one. Like there's a lot of realities where you're gonna get voted in and no one's gonna bat an eye at it. No one would care because
Yeah.
we're using Tyler Hero as reference just because he was the last. He was last in fan voting. No one would care if Tyler Hero was an All Star, but LaMelo and Trey were also All Stars. You know what I mean? Because we're just fixated on that because those are the snubs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like All Star Weekend as a whole, as much as we're harping about
Swash, bro.
changing the voting or like fixing the voting, it doesn't do anything if the guys don't want to play. So that's the whole other problem, right?
But yeah,
There's a whole other
that's
problem.
bro.
Guys don't want to play in the All Star game no more, and regardless of
terrible.
who you bring in, that's not gonna change. We'll see what happens this
Like
year. But
I'm debating to even watch it. Like I don't even know if I want to because it's a new format,
Yeah.
like the little tournament they got.
yeah,
Like what?
it's very
And then
weird.
the dunk contest, obviously that's washed
Yeah.
because I feel again it should be names that you know,
Yeah,
not and it should be guys on NBA rosters. This is the NBA
not
All Star
McClung.
game. Okay. So yeah, and then I know 3-point contest. They were trying to do something new. You know, they had Clay outside with was it Sabrina?
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah,
So I know I get that. I don't know. Like I
yeah.
just
It's
think
just not.
it's not the same.
I
It's not the
honestly
same.
think out of all the event, obviously, I think the All Star game is probably still going to be the most watched out of the three, just because it's the
Yeah, it's a
longest event. You know what
game.
I mean? There's just
Yeah.
there's multiple games now, whatever. But I think the only event that is holding its own in a way is the 3-point contest, and it's because of what they
Yeah,
did
yeah, I
last year,
agree.
where you brought in Sabrina Ionescu. They tried to bring in Caitlin Clark this year. I don't know if you saw that. Tried to bring Caitlin
Yeah, she
Clark. She
said
turned it
no.
down. Damn, but at least the effort is there, and they're in the right direction with that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that was entertaining. That
Yeah,
like that 3-point contest for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, just in general, like in general, all these All-Star games are just so bad.
crap.
Like at
Yeah,
this point, some of them just got to do away with it. Just send out a list. Yo, you're an All-Star or
yeah.
whatever. For NBA, Adam Silver, I get it. He's trying to change things up, trying to make things good.
The
But
10-minute
like I
quarters.
saw
Did you
your
see it?
video.
Yeah.
I saw your video, bro.
What do you
I
think?
dare them to do that. I dare
That
them.
makes no
I dare
sense to
them.
me whatsoever.
You're why are you doing this, bro? Because that also changes history because
Yeah,
the numbers, the stats,
yeah.
the I get it that the FIBA
Mhm.
is what he's inspired by. He loves international basketball and he likes footy a lot.
Mhm.
So that's why he's trying to change the game.
Yeah,
But I don't think we should do that. And then I know that the 3-point issue,
yeah.
people are trying to find a way, do it, like get rid of the corner three. No, don't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
it. I don't like that.
I even saw this
Like,
thing they were saying about
I don't
changing.
know.
I don't remember the article. I don't even know if it was something that he had said or if it was if something someone else was suggesting, whatever that got traction was like not penalizing 3-point foul shots as much. Like meaning if you're taking a three and it's a foul, you're only shooting 2 free throws instead of three. Aside from the final few minutes of the game, I was like, that just doesn't even make
What?
like why are we for
No.
what?
No.
Why?
No.
It just
Like, what
doesn't
are you
make
talking
sense.
about, bro?
But
And I get it. Like the product's not the same. Um, we're all upset about like how things are gone with the NBA, but doing more like changing things up so much is I don't think it's gonna help anything. I'm just
yeah,
gonna be honest. I don't think it is. Even with the NBA Cup, again, this time around was a bit better than last year, but still, I don't care. I
yeah,
personally I don't care about it.
yeah,
It's like the Carabao Cup. Like
yeah.
what?
Cabbage Cup is what it's called
What?
for a reason, brother. No one cares about that kind of stuff. We'll watch it if it's on because that's all that's on. But you know,
Yeah.
I think just the real stuff that the only changes I feel like that would get a positive reception is just nods to like throwback kind of changes. So like those nickname jerseys, it's small, subtle, but people would, you know what I mean. You're gonna get more of a buzz on social media, yada yada yada. Flirting more with the expansion thing, maybe actually get it done now because I feel like I've been hearing
Yeah.
about an
They've been
expansion
talking about
team
it.
forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
most
They're
likely
gonna do that.
yeah, it's most likely gonna be
Seattle.
like Vegas and
Vegas, yeah,
Seattle
Vegas,
or
yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
is. Stuff like that, I think are and like if you wanted to shorten the regular season a little bit, maybe make it 70 games, 72, whatever the heck it is. Just because I find the regular season is very long. I understand for real NBA fanatics, you're gonna watch 1 to
Yeah.
82 of
But
your favorite
it's
teams.
dragged out though.
It
They
is
dragged it
dragged out to where it's like anything prior to 30, like game 30, game 20,
Yeah.
no, I mean,
Yeah.
we don't really care that much, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's just us being fans and nitpicking at what we want to see. But yeah,
Like hand checking too. Like let that back.
yeah, let that. And, oh,
Defense.
you know what? Actually, now we're getting into
Yeah,
this.
bro. Like come on, bro.
Get the fix the referee. Okay, hire me. Hire
Oh
someone
yeah.
else because I'm tired of all these sensitive refs. Brother, people
Yeah,
are
it's
looking at
bad.
a ref and you get a tick. What? For what? Why? And it's you know what I don't
Nah,
like?
bro.
It's the attitude they do it with. They throw the
I
T
know.
up there with a little bit more. You know what I mean? Just a bit more oomph, and I
Man.
don't like it. It's like, brother, we're not here for
It's
you.
bad. Bro, let them have personality. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like with any sport,
Any sport.
I think personality is key.
Yeah, it's
This will
entertainment.
allow for rivalry potentially because the NBA is the one sport has no rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
You look at NFL, it's built on rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Footy, there's rivalries everywhere you look. Baseball even have more rivalry than these guys.
Yeah.
NHL has more rivalry than these guys.
Yeah.
This is all buddy buddy. This is not the NBA that I like. I
Yeah.
like watching the documentaries about the bad boys literally wanting to get rid of Mike.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, some
No,
animosity.
yes, like the Jailblazers going through trying to square up with Shaq and Kobe. Like I like that. Kings and Lakers. We need that.
Yeah,
That's also why the NBA is failing right now because there's just no built-in rivalry. There's no storyline on those sides. You know what I'm saying? And they're still trying to feed off of the old guard
yeah.
with LeBron, Steph, and KD.
Milking it till it's
Like
dry, man. Like,
I love him. I love him. But at some point, you're going to have to push. So they're trying to push new guys a little bit,
yeah.
Edwards. But you got to do more of it. But yeah, like you said, why is it like a guy's looking at the ref sideways and then I get tossed?
You get
Are you
attacked.
kidding me?
Luka got
And
attacked
it's not.
last year for snapping
Yeah,
at his
it's.
teammate. What?
Oh, yeah,
What are
I
we
remember that one. And
doing?
it's not, bro. It's not no names. These are people that men and women are trying to go to the game to watch these big names, and
Yeah.
you're gonna toss them for that?
Yeah, you know
Stop
how
it.
expensive
Stop
NBA tickets are nowadays, bro. You might not be able to go
Yeah, I
see these
haven't been
guys
to
again.
Raptors game. I haven't been to a Raptors game this season.
Brother, my last Raptors game that I went to was, I think, 2016 or 2017. And it was the Raptors playing the Pistons. And Andre Drummond gave us like
Okay.
25 and something.
Damn.
That was the last time
Damn.
I've been at a Raptors
Yeah.
game. It's just because it's too damn expensive to go now. And it's
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, man, thank you for coming on. Thank you for let's getting this out of the way. Hopefully we'll have
Yes.
you on also with everybody else going down the line. No beef, everybody. There's no beef.
Yeah, no beef,
There's
bro.
no
No
beef.
We are good. We are good.
Yeah, we're great.
It's just the scheduling conflicts right now. I know that a lot of stuff has been going on. So I'm glad to talk about Super Bowl. I'm glad to talk about NBA. Champions League. I was watching that. Obviously, it's great. It's Champions League, but I just gotta say I hate the
I
format.
hate it.
Hate it.
I don't even know what
Hate
the
it.
hell's going on as much. It's
Like I get it. Like because they showed what's going to happen with the playoff and the sixth round of 16, but it's doing too much. It's doing too much. It's gonna take time to get used to. I know, but
You know
I
what
just
it
think and the 18 matches the other day,
yeah.
it was great,
It was
but
ridiculous.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
I
There's a lot going
couldn't
on.
keep up.
Yeah. There's a lot
I was
going
watching
on.
the Villa match, but Aston Villa. What I was watching the Man City, obviously. I checked into every match, but I was more so focused on those ones I was watching. Trying to remember what I was. Is it Bayern match? No, there was another one I was focused on. Atalanta match. But
You know what it is too? Like, not to get into this whole thing, because this is a whole other can of worms that, whatever. I don't know how many more games it actually adds to the format over the course of a season if you were to go all the way to the final and win. But it's just going to do the same thing. Like what we're talking about with the whole Adam Silver thing and changing the time limit and records. Ronaldo and Messi, right now, their records are alone in that category, but for how much longer? Because if you're
overtime,
you're adding however many X amount of games more onto the schedule, those guys are just gonna get there. Like people in 50 years from now are gonna be like, "Oh, who's Ronaldo and Messi?" Whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that for Champions League because now they changed the format. So I don't know. That's why I'm not a big fan of it. I just think it was a little unnecessary. But
yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens to that. But I'll be back on. Don't worry, y'all.
Yeah. We'll get this going more often, even if it's a pre-recording. You know what I mean? As long as we get the input from the one and only Jelani Goodridge Reed, man. Thank you for joining. Back to the episode.
You'd rather have Kyrie than Luka?
That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. If you want to win, you have to try. That's all we're saying.
He don't try.
He doesn't. Oh my gosh.
Milan, you do this on purpose. You're doing it on purpose. This is stand culture right here. This is stand culture. Yo, Milan, you gotta stop, man. Find God.